What an absolute freaking bizarre day in the world of professional wrestling the last 24 hours, right? Got news about Jake Hager slamming Tony Khan, and also Kelly Osbourne talking about Becky Lynch's comments about Ozzy Osbourne on Raw. Mark Henry talking about Syko Stu, or Syko Stu, that's how you say Syko Stu, excuse me. I don't know, but that whole story of Syko Stu and Rajah Jackson, I mean, fucking A. What a piece of shit Rajah Jackson truly is for that shit. You know about that we're discussing today's podcast. Or today's wrestling report to sales here, August 27, 2025. What is going on, everybody? How you all doing today? Welcome to episode of Lucas Limits on YouTube and all audio platforms. The Lucas E Show, sales on Spotify and all audio platforms. With your wrestling report, August 27, 2025 report, your Wednesday, August 27, 2025 day, like I said. Before you get into it, follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Lucas E. Allen. YouTube, we watch on YouTube, hit the like button today's report. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and turn the bell for post notifications. Also, leave a comment. We think today is August 27, 2025 wrestling report to say at least. Watch on Spotify, do the same thing, leave a comment, think of this report to say at least, and also leave me a 5-star rating as well. Let's get right into today's report, shall we? We're going to discuss, I've done like the first 4 things on this report. I discussed briefly in YouTube shorts and discussed my whole thoughts today. So backstage news on Jamie Hayter after her AEW Forbidden Door return for 2025. Discuss that. Also, Samoa Joe is set to wrestle his first indie match since 2015. We'll be discussing that. Also, Ricochet files a trademark for the word, get this people, the word bald. I know, it's fucking bizarre if you ask me. We also discussing Kelly Osbourne in this podcast, the daughter of Ozzy Osbourne as well. Blasts Becky Lynch, the reigning defending WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, for a comment she made about Ozzy Osbourne on Monday Night Raw this week. Fucking was bizarre to say, at least from Miss Kelly Osbourne. Not a fan of what she said whatsoever. And God forbid a heel is it being a heel in 2025. This is fucking society for you people. It's complete and utter disgusting. For the people that always claim each other like cancel culture, like bullshit like this, like, my God, people, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up! What do you want me else to fucking say? It's ridiculous. Also, Jake Hager calls out Tony Khan for being a daddy's billionaire and can't take criticism. I mean, where's the lie in that one? I'm a big fan of AEW, but still, I don't know what's the lie in that one. Also, Mark Henry, this awful fucking take he had about Syko Stu. I think that's how you say Syko Stu, to say at least. Mark Henry says Syko Stu deserves blame for the Rajah Jackson innocent. I cannot believe the fucking words that came out of Mark Henry's mouth, to say at least. A respected professional wrestler is now retired, saying bullshit like he said in this, what I'm going to discuss today. Fucking ridiculous take here. Between him and Rob Van Dam is fucking ridiculous. We're also discussing Rhea Ripley. Yes, we're discussing Rhea Ripley on this report. Names Candice LeRae the most underrated woman in the WWE. I mean, where she's telling lies there is beyond me. I don't see lies detected by Rhea Ripley, if you ask me. We're going to discuss that. Also, Shayna Baszler is set to face Masha Slamovich in her first match since her WWE departure. We'll be discussing that. Also, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, also known as The Undertaker, obviously, reportedly, has an incredible influential role in AAA. Not hard to figure out why. Also, Swerve Strickland undergoes successful surgery. We'll discuss that. Also, Backstage WWE reaction to Vince McMahon's 80th birthday party, to say at least. Yeah, we're talking Vince McMahon towards the end of the report, like I said today. Discussing on stage report, glad you enjoyed. Maybe as well as on stage, or Wednesday, August 27, 2025 wrestling report on Lucas Simmons on YouTube and all audio platforms. Starting with, you guessed it, backstage news on Jamie Hayter after her return at AEW Forbidden Door this past Sunday. Well, speaking of that, a new report from Fightful Select has provided backstage details on the return of former AEW Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter, who made her surprise return at AEW New Japan Forbidden Door pay-per-view this past Sunday. Which, by the way, I'll have a review on that to say at least in the coming days and weeks to say at least. Just gotta catch up on my reviews to say at least. I know I left off of Raw last week, not just past Monday, but also last Monday night. When I discussed, what was that, be the 18th of Raw, excuse me. So we got to review like Dynamite this week, and I'll probably be delayed for tonight's Dynamite episode, but you get the point. Let's go back to your report. According to the report, Hayter's return was a little late than AEW had hoped for. She had been out of action since suffering an injury during her match with my girl Mercedes Moné at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view in May. The report notes that while Hayter initially thought that she was okay after the match, she was ultimately not cleared to compete. Hayter's injury reportedly pushed up Tekla's debut in AEW. The report also adds that Hayter gained praise backstage for working a smoke and mirror spot while not cleared to help Tekla's debut get off the ground in a previous angle. I believe it's the Dynamite after Double or Nothing, I believe. It was also known that the plan was always for Hayter versus Tekla to a feud. Oh my god, a feud upon Hayter's return. I'll be honest, I didn't watch Forbidden Door yet to say I was going to watch it eventually. Obviously, when I get to the point, obviously, we're going to discuss more reviews to say at least, but still. I didn't think it was on a pre-show this match with Tekla and the women involved. Like, what the fuck? Jamie Hayter, another London pay-per-view, returning on a pre-show. I believe at least. But still, man, what the fuck are we doing there? Like, you can't make a spot for a return for your former world champion Jamie Hayter on fucking Forbidden Door. I don't get that type of logic. The main show maybe as that to say at least. But whatever, man. It's great to see Jamie Hayter back in AEW. Hope to see her get better treatment from AEW, because last time we saw her, minus the Mercedes Moné match, that was freaking great. She's been nothing but losing to say at least. So hopefully the God, Tony Khan can right his wrong, treat Jamie Hayter like the star she is, in my opinion, to say at least. Moving on to Samoa Joe set to wrestle his first independent wrestling match since 2015. Samoa Joe is set to return to the independent wrestling scene, or circuit to say at least. For the first time since 2015, he was booked for a match for the Arizona-based promotion IZW this November 2025, obviously. IZW announced on its Facebook page that Samoa Joe will face Nigeria Warrior at their IZW Long Live the King event on Saturday, November 8th. This will be Joe's first independent wrestling match since August of 2015, just before he signed officially with WWE NXT to say at least. Great for Samoa Joe, great for the independent wrestling circuit to get a guy like Samoa Joe, an established veteran like in the business of professional wrestling. You see, I love this type of shit for guys like Joe and with girls like Mercedes, my girl. They're going on for independent wrestling scenes to say at least, elevating these indie shows, like I said, and it should be great for the indie shows to say at least. It's very good for Samoa Joe. Big fan of Samoa Joe to say at least on this podcast for sure. So congratulations for him. Getting his first independent wrestling match since August of 2015, like this report said to say at least. Moving on to AEW's Ricochet files a trademark for the word bald. Yes, people, all because he's a bald man himself, Ricochet. It's just insane, man. AEW star Ricochet has filed a new and unique trademark that seems to be related to his gimmick. On August 25th, on Monday, obviously, the High Flyer filed a trademark for the word bald. The trademark was filed for both entertainment services and clothing purposes. The entertainment services description covers a wide range of wrestling-related performances and appearances, including live events, televised appearances, and online interviews. Which is freaking bizarre for online interviews, man. I don't know, man. Just something about this screams just fucking... I don't know, man. Just something screams just fucking bizarre, if you ask me. But then again, it fits his game like a glove, because like I said, Ricochet is a bald man, to say the least. Like, this is this bizarre article, man. I don't know why we even discussed it, but it is what it is, to say the least. And on to a more serious and fucking ridiculous fucking story I gotta share for you. Kelly Osbourne, the daughter of Ozzy Osbourne, the late great Ozzy Osbourne, blasts Becky Lynch, the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, for her comments about Ozzy Osbourne on Monday Night Raw this week. A promo for this past Monday's episode of Monday Night Raw in Birmingham, England, has drawn comments from Kelly Osbourne, the daughter of the late rock legend and WWE Hall of Famer Ozzy Osbourne. She took to social media to call out Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch and WWE for her comments made about her father. The incident occurred when during an in-ring confrontation between Becky Lynch and her challenger at Clash in Paris for Women's Intercontinental Championship, Nikki Bella, to get a negative reaction from the Birmingham crowd. Lynch used Ozzy Osbourne, who passed away in July, as part of a promo to get heat since he's from there, to say the least. I'm not wrestling in Birmingham. The only good thing that came out of here died a month ago, Lynch said to the crowd. But in fairness to Ozzy Osbourne, he had the good sense to move to LA, a proper city, because if I lived in Birmingham, I'd die too. Which I thought was actually a very, very good comment. She even praised Ozzy. People think she was slamming Ozzy. Like, for especially with this comment she made especially made the comment, to say the least, about, what was it about? Whatever, let's move on to the fucking report, shall we? The comments did not sit well with Ozzy's daughter, Kelly Osbourne. She posted a scathing response to Lynch and WWE on her Instagram stories Tuesday morning. By the way, before I get into this, she said Becky Lynch. She tagged the Becky Lynch account, to say the least. You would think she would tag the right one, right? No, she tagged it instead of a Becky Lynch fan account, to say the least. Becky Lynch, and that's probably the not the right username. Obviously, she tagged, like I said. You are a disrespectful dirtbag. Oh, I'm sure Becky is so scared, to say the least. Birmingham would not piss on you if you are on fire, Osbourne wrote. Shame on the WWE for allowing such things to be said about my father and his home. This is just a fucking bullshit article to fucking respond to. Like, seriously, what's with fucking society? This day and age is so fucking like someone's do say the word that rhymes with cat, man. I'm not gonna say the Ellen death word. But man, people are gonna be such fucking sensitive marks, to say at least in 2025. I hate to say it, it's just fucking true. Like, what was it she said? It was so bad here. I know Kelly Osbourne is the daughter of Ozzy. I get that. Maybe she's still mourning. Maybe she has an ego. I don't fucking know. But what's with the fucking, ridiculous stuff here? It's to say about Becky Lynch, all because she's a fucking heel in WWE. The fuck is your problem? It's a heel being a heel. If this was my father, I'm not gonna be, doing shit like say this, to say at least. But if you're playing a gimmick for wrestling or anything, I probably would give it A-okay. If you say in real life, then I'd be a little bit pissed off. But this is a gimmick, bro. Come on. I don't get this fucking bullshit with these fucking people. I know Kelly's the daughter of Ozzy. I get it, bro. I get it. Maybe she's still mourning. I don't fucking know, people. Let's say at least this article is complete and utter bullshit to say. It's coming on Ozzy Osbourne fan myself. I love Ozzy. I have a couple of songs in my playlist that's playing right now in the Spotify studio, say at least. Not Spotify studio, maybe my room studio, you get the point. But now, honestly, this is a ridiculous fucking bullshit article if I've ever seen anything to say at least, to wrap it up. Moving on to Jake Hager calls out Tony Khan for being a daddy's billionaire and can't take criticism. Yeah, boy, this ought to be something, right? Jake Hager has opened up his departure from All Elite Wrestling, stating that he became very jaded with the company and its president, Tony Khan. Hager was one of the original members of the WWE roster, making a surprise debut for the first episode of Dynamite in October 2019 as a member of Chris Jericho's Inner Circle faction. Speaking with Chris Van Vliet on his Insight podcast, Hager recounted a talent meeting that took place after an infamous brawl-out incident involving Tony Khan. He's described as a boys-only meeting led by veterans like Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley that was interrupted by an angry Tony Khan. Oh boy. He wasn't a professional after all the punk shit that went down. The boys just got together and we had a meeting, and this was the only boys-only meeting, like I said. no office, right? We're all like staying in there. Show, big show, obviously, Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, Moxley. And they're all standing in front, kind of like, talking us through this shit. And EO, I don't know why I said EO, but whatever. And behold, who comes into the room, storming in. Daddy's little billionaire, and he's like yelling at us. We were all feeling disrespected. And I still, to this day, wish I have stood up and said, a lot of things, but like you just told Sting that you're going to put him in a six-man in 6 minutes, but then you're going to honor him for his retirement. We became little playthings, to say the least. Hager went on to express his frustration with what he saw as Khan's inability to take constructive criticism from his veteran talent. He believes his management style led to a decline in his own passion for the business. We had to wait outside the office. His storylines were very good at debuting, but he could never carry anything through. And then got to the point where I'm carrying on, but it got to the point where I couldn't even tell him anything. He couldn't take criticism. He was fucking up. There you go, man. Fucking up, man. There we go. And we're all just having to deal with it. And like we all have blood, sweat, and tears to put into that company. AEW, obviously. We were all there at the beginning, like we all had our careers behind us and then helped build that company. And then we all had to just sit side by side and couldn't do anything because he wanted to run it the way he wanted to run it, in quotes. And not a good look whatsoever from Tony Khan, man. Not a good look whatsoever. As an avid AEW fan like him, I know I get a lot of hate and everything in the IWC, the idiot wrestling community. I get that. But I can't defend him here, Tony Khan. Like, you can't be doing shit. I can't take constructive criticism as an AEW CEO of the company, man. That'd be so fucking ridiculous. Well, whatever, man. Whatever fits Tony Khan's belt, I guess. What pleases the man Tony Khan, I guess, to say the least. A wrap-up report on Lucas Limits on the Wrestling Report for August 7/27, 2025. Moving on to a story that's going to get me very heated on this damn podcast in regards to Mark Henry. Mark Henry says Syko Stu deserves blame for the Raja Jackson incident, to say the least. Before I get started with that, if you don't know about that, it's a complete, utter fucking piece of shit person, Raja Jackson. Went on an independent wrestling show and really, even from walking in the crowd, just to run in and really beat up Syko Stu, to say the least. He literally beat up another fucking wrestler. Like, how the fuck are you doing that, to say the least? Just sick and bizarre human beings, to say the least. And here we get Mark Henry defending Raja Jackson and slamming Syko Stu, to say the least. WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry has weighed in on a recent controversial incident involving Raja Jackson, the son of MMA legend Quentin Rampage Jackson and independent wrestler Syko Stu. Speaking with TMZ, Henry placed the blame for the situation the veteran wrestler, who got attacked, by the way, and said that the era of hazing and professional wrestling is over. Mark Henry is a respected veteran in the wrestling business, obviously, offered his analysis of the situation to TMZ. He began by attributing the incident to a lack of experience and proper training. Wait, proper training? The dude was fucking attacked! What do you want to fucking know, Mark? That's what happens when people are not experienced to our business, and you have to be fully educated. You got to be fully trained. For what? The dude was fucking attacked. He laid one fucking hand on this dude. Henry said, I don't know the full story, but I do know what I saw. And it looked like it wasn't smart to do to what was going on. And the dude that was messing with him bit off more than he could chew. You think, Mark? Henry was clear in his assessment that Syko Stu is the veteran and the situation was primarily at fault, especially if reports of him drinking before the show are accurate. Drinking before... What the fuck does that matter? He was wrestling a match. He looked fine when I saw the clips. But God forbid. What kind of example are you as a veteran messing around with a kid? Henry questioned if indeed what I saw was what I saw, which is people before the show during the daytime drinking and intoxicated. Who said they were intoxicated, dude? Who fucking said they were intoxicated? The only people coming up with that is you, Mark. Literally. And you bust a bottle over a guy's head, and talk trash like that was not going to do anything. Yeah, you're at fault. Really? Really? Are you fucking delusional, Mark? I can't with this, man. It's whatever. Henry also used the incident to make a broader point about the culture of professional wrestling, saying that the old school mentality of hating and disrespecting younger talent is no longer acceptable in the modern era. Here we go with the fucking old ass wrestlers like The Undertaker and Mark Henry. Oh, the good old days are gone. No shit, you fucking old heads. Stop, it's 2025. Get over it. I love The Undertaker to death, but my God, man, every time he spews about his video games and bullshit, that's why I lose interest, to say the least. The hasten days, the corny bullshit days are over with, Henry said. Every one of these journeyman guys that get drunk before the show and sit around and talk crap to all these younger kids and tell them how the old days were, that over with. Because the guys that's coming in former M&A guys or college students like my son, people that's in entertainment and have all other walks of life, and you can't act like, corny bullshit to these guys and girls. I can't believe the fortune's fucking coming out of his mouth right now, to say the least. Or you get the point. Henry does not believe the incident reflects poorly on the entire wrestling industry. He was critical of the promotion where it took place. It's not a bad look. It's not a bad look for pro wrestling. It's a bad look for a company that he performed at. For what? Because the man's the deranged lunatic Raja Jackson? Like, he's a deranged fucking lunatic. How is that the company's fault? Holy shit, is this man delusional or fucking what? And it's a bad look for him, and it's a even worse look for the guy that got beat up. Because now we know you can't fight, he said. Dude, he was wrestling a fucking match. Did you not see the fucking match, you dumbass? He was literally wrestling. He didn't even know the fucking dude was about to attack him. Unbelievable. He said. And back in the old days, if you lost the fight, you lost your job. What the fuck is this man talking about? So let's say The Undertaker lost against The Undertaker be fired? What the fuck are you talking about? I don't get what the fuck you're talking about, Mark. As it goes into your name is a fucking Mark. Henry concluded by saying that such innocents are rare in today's wrestling world, and that the fallout from the situation will likely serve as a cautionary tale for a long time. Like, your fucking word matters, Mark Henry. Like, your word fucking matters in the year 2025. You cannot be this fucking ridiculously delusional, Mark Henry. I liked you as a professional wrestler, and you were world champion, obviously, and got good for you. But my God, Mark Henry. Are we guys just like past you or what? And God forbid we move on from the guys like you and guys like The Undertaker. And The Undertaker is one of the all-time greats. I love The Undertaker character. But still, man. You people need to fucking get fucking checked out on something, to say the least. Just saying. Man, that segment gave me fucking heat, did it not? But Mark Henry, my God. How can you fucking say bullshit like you said? Well, let's move on to this report. The better positivity, though, and say at least not agree with somebody at least under takes. Rhea Ripley names Candice LeRae the most underrated women's wrestler in the WWE. Former WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley has named one superstar that she believes is one of the most underrated talents in the women's division. Ripley gave her high praise to Candice LeRae. While speaking on Sport Bubble, the insights to the podcast, Ripley was asked to name a women's wrestler that she feels is underrated. She chose Candice LeRae and talked about numerous talented women who often don't receive the spotlight. It's hard to pinpoint anyone specifically, but I feel like there's a lot, especially in the women's division. Ripley said, "There's so many women that I know that are so amazing at what they do, and they don't get enough TV time or opportunities to show everyone what they really can do." Ripley elaborated on why she chose LeRae. "Someone that I love is Candice LeRae, and going through NXT with her and how her brain works and how she goes out there, and she's like the vet in the ring. She knows what to do and knows she keeps everyone calm, and she's got good ideas, or great ideas to say the least. It's just like I wish that someone like her would get more of an opportunity," Ripley concluded. Ripley and LeRae have a long history dating back to their time in NXT, to say the least. Absolutely love this answer from Rhea Ripley. Absolutely fucking love this answer from good old Rhea Ripley. To me, Candice LeRae should be definitely, especially for our Women's United States Championship on Friday Night SmackDown. The title that Julia is holding right now is dead in the water, not because it's Julia's fault. It's more WWE Triple H's creative fault. But let's build up Candice LeRae, maybe not just be a contender for that championship, maybe win the title eventually down the line. Maybe not at the expense of Julia, but at least maybe the champion after Julia, to maybe her babyface talent, to say the least. It just boggles my mind how you have two mid-card championships and Candice LeRae can't be competing for one of them. I did hear in NXT that she's been announced for a tournament match, so she can be an next challenge for Ruka in the NXT Women's North American Championship. I like that, honestly, to a point. Well, I mean, my she beats Ruka, honestly, to say the least. So I absolutely love this answer from Rhea Ripley, giving her praise is deserves for Candice LeRae, to say the least. One of the underrated women's wrestlers in the WWE right now, to say the least. Moving on, Shayna Baszler to face Masha Slamovich in her first match since her WWE departure back in March. The first official WWE match for Shayna Baszler, her post-WWE match for Shayna Baszler, has been announced. Baszler is set to make her in-ring return to Prestige Wrestling in a match against Masha Slamovich. Prestige Wrestling announced on their social media that the bout will take place at the Prestige Roseland, I think it's 12 event on Saturday, October 5th. This will be Baszler's first match since her release from WWE in May of 2025, obviously. Was it 25? I guess it was 2025, honestly. So I guess not March, to say the least. And her first time competing for Prestige Wrestling, to say the least. Good for Shayna Baszler, to say the least, man. I'm a big fan towards Shayna. She was one of the more underutilized talents in WWE when she was there. I actually even mind her being a producer for NXT, that long report we saw a couple months ago, when she was a producer for an NXT match, I believe. But I prefer in the ring more times than not, to say the least. So good for Shayna Baszler, to say the least. Very grateful for that. She's still in professional wrestling, to say the least, man. Moving on to The Undertaker, reportedly has an incredible influential role in AAA. A report from Fightful Select has provided backstage details from the recent AAA Triple Mania events. The report sheds light on the reaction to the speech from WWE President Nick Khan and the growing backstage influence of The Undertaker. According to the report, Khan gave a speech to AAA talent before the show, assuring them that WWE was not there to change the company. The message was reportedly met with heavy skepticism from AAA sources that Fightful spoke with. Though not disdain, the sources know that they feel that WWE has very clearly, firmly planned their flag and the promotion. The Undertaker is reportedly going to be around AAA a lot more and is already incredible incredibly influential person backstage. This aligns with previous confirmation from Triple H that Taker would be used in various roles as the part of the long-term WWE contract, to say the least. And also, like I said before, The Undertaker, the Mark Henry was ridiculous before I said. Undertaker has a lot of, he can obviously compare, a lot, but, give, a lot of advice to younger talent, in WWE for NXT, and even AAA, like I said. But still, as long as he's not giving ideas about video games, that's all I give a shit for. Because the stuff he says about kids these days and wrestlers, quote-unquote, about video games is complete, utter ridiculous, if you ask me. You're not in the year 1998 anymore, Undertaker. Get over it, to say the least. But Undertaker has a lot of influence you can get backstage to younger talent, like Trick Williams for NXT, if you saw NXT a couple months ago. And guys like that, to say the least. So good stuff from The Undertaker doing stuff like this for younger talent in WWE and AAA, to say the least. Moving on to Swerve Strickland undergoes successful surgery. AEW star Swerve Strickland is officially on the road to recovery. The former AEW World Champion has undergone successful surgery to repair a torn meniscus in his knee, an injury has been working through for several years, to say the least. The news confirms previous reports that Strickland will be taking time off to have the long-standing issue corrected. He has now begun the road to recovery process, and the duration of his absence is still not known, to say the least. So good successfully surgery for Swerve Strickland, to say the least. He's going to miss him quite a lot in AEW, to say the least. Especially in the main event scene, he's not the greatest runner. You got a Hangman Page, the AEW World Champion, MJF contend for World Championship, so his lost at Forbidden Door, to say the least. But still, definitely wish Swerve Strickland nothing but the best and hope to see him back sooner rather than later in AEW television for sure, to say the least. And finally, in the video, a little bit of a Lucas Limits Wrestling report where I'll discussing good old VKM Vince McMahon. And finishing up with him nonetheless. Backstage WWE reaction to Vince McMahon's 80th birthday party. A new report from Fightful Select has provided backstage details on the reactions to Vince McMahon's 80th birthday party, which took place last week in New York City when he was attended by several of the current and former WWE stars of Saturdays. According to the report, the party was intended to be a very private affair, with attendees encouraged to only use the professional photographer on hand if they wanted to take pictures. The event only became public after photos emerged online, including one posted by Jerry the King Lawler, which he was later asked to delete. The guest list included a number of high-profile names such as The Undertaker, John Cena, JBL, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, Maurice, Titus O'Neil, and Bruce Pritchard. One attendee noted that it was the first time they had seen McMahon in person in over 2 years. The report also detailed the varying reactions from WWE talent. One talent who attended told Fightful, "A lot of people here feel like they owe Vince something, even though he made his money back on them tenfold." I don't know about that, to say the least. If you make money off of the said wrestlers, particularly like Vince McMahon, why would these wrestlers give back to him? I don't understand it whatsoever. Another person admitted that there was a moral conflict in their decision to attend. The party took place as Vince McMahon and WWE are currently being sued by a former employee, Janelle Grant, for sexual assault, sex trafficking, and harassment. The report noted that many more talented were invited but chose not to go. The consensus among those who didn't attend that they were in McMahon's situation, he would have fired them and never spoken to them again. There were reportedly no official WWE involvement in the party. Talent who asked if to be higher up if they could or should attend, if were told it was their business. Key figures such as Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Nick Khan were not in attendance. But the report also provided an update on McMahon's physical appearance, with one attendee who hadn't been seeing him in over years noted that he looked 80, seemed very frail, and walked slower. The source who also made it clear that there has been no talk for Vince McMahon return to WWE. thank God in any capacity, and that sources at the top of the company have no desire to bring him back as well. Very grateful for that, to say at least. When I think of WWE right now in Triple H and TKO, I understand it tenfold. But was Vince McMahon there still with TKO, probably all fucking hell, to say the least, man. But to say the least, I don't fucking care. Good for the people involved in getting guests. Vince McMahon turning 80 years old. I cannot give a single shit about Vince McMahon in the year 2025 whatsoever, to say the least. To wrap up your Lucas Limits Wrestling Report for your August 27, 2025, your Wednesday, August 27, 2025 day as well. And thank y'all for watching Lucas Limits on YouTube and all audio platforms for your Wrestling Report for Wednesday, August 27, 2025. And catch y'all tomorrow for more content on Lucas Limits on YouTube and all audio platforms, and as well as my YouTube for Lucas Iano to discuss all things sports and pop culture / entertainment, to say the least, as well. So subscribe to that, to say the least. Until next time, it's supposed to be next time. Peace, love, I'm out. Take care. Love you all big time, to say the least.